Continuing on our series of things you should know about specific heroes, here is 5 things that you need to know about Nature's Prophet. These are going to be things for everybody, not just people who play it, but people playing against it as well and want to get an advantage on either end. Well, let's get started. With the recent patch where Sprout now deals damage, the enemy heroes are going to have to all need to buy a Quelling Blade so they can get out of your sprouted trees. However, depending on your bracket and even just depending on the enemies you're against, some of them will be greedy and choose not to do this. Even if they have tangos with them, it is still worth checking if they do actually have a Quelling Blade or not, because these are the targets that you want to gank. One, if you jump in and try to gank one of those people, they're either not going to have a Quelling Blade to get out and they're probably just dead, and 2, if they do use a tango to escape, even if they're on high health, they just waste the tango and you're burning through their regen. So before starting a gank and choosing a target, check the inventory of their target to be able to see if they have a way out of your Sprout or not. If there's somebody that doesn't, then you found your target and you can just constantly ruin their game over and over and over again. Of course, this also means that the enemy all have to buy Quelling Blades, which is wasted gold and an inventory space as well, which is freaking huge. Number 2, teleport can be seen by the enemy heroes. Now, most people know this. You've seen a Nature's Prophet teleport towards you and you can see the animation. Something to know as a Nature's Prophet is if you're teleporting into fog, the enemy cannot see this. So if you teleport just behind a tree or something, they cannot see you channeling this. But you can use this to your advantage in a few different ways. One, if there's an enemy, say for example, considering either tower diving an ally on your team, or chasing them and you think they're going to get them and you want to try and help, you can just start channeling a teleport in a very obvious place where they can see it and make them think twice about committing onto that hero. So they see you teleporting in, their brain goes, oh crap, can I still do this? Am I going to die? Am I going to get punished for it? Is this a good idea? They either hesitate, giving your ally a chance to escape, or they just turn back, or of course they just commit anyway. So even if this doesn't necessarily work, every now and again you're going to be able to save an ally purely just by showing that you are looking and that you can TP in and giving that threat of being there. Of course, if this is still a dangerous teleport for you, you do not have to commit to this. You can press the stop command keybind and this will stop you from teleporting as long as you do it before you actually finish the teleport. And of course, keep in mind, if you are teleporting into a place to gank someone, you should use the fog, or you should put it next to a tree at least if there's no fog around. That way it's a little bit harder for people to see as to not warn the enemy so that they run away. A lot of people like to use Nature's Prophet's ultimate to farm items. Now, this is still something you can definitely do, but you should always consider whether you think you're going to be fighting soon or not. Even if you're only fighting as a gank with 1v1, or if you're going to be doing a full 5v5 team fight, then you definitely want to be considering saving your ultimate for these situations. This will pay off more than if you are using it to farm every time it cooldowns anyway, and of course a full one fight for your team is a hell of a lot better than you getting a few extra CS whenever you use this. Again, if you really feel like you're not going to be fighting in the next time it's ready for cooldown again, you might as well use it and push a lane. It's useful to push out waves, it's useful to get yourself extra gold and get to that item quicker, so consider the differences. But getting assist gold, getting kill gold, and also just changing a team fight from like an even match, maybe like a good trade of 2v2 or something, you can then make it into a one team fight. It's going to be a big difference. So save your ultimate. It does a lot of damage and is important to keep in team fights, unless for a fact you know that you're not going to need it and you can just use it to farm or push waves. If you're enjoying this sort of video, please do consider subscribing to the channel, as it is a pretty new channel, fairly small, and I would appreciate every single sub of course as well. As the channel gets bigger, the more time I can invest into making content like this, and if you have any other suggestions, please drop them in the comments below. With that being said, let's get back to the video. Following on from tips about your ultimate, in fact, you want to be using this on the opposite side of the map as the targets that you're aiming for. So for example, if your allies are going to be fighting in top lane, you want to target this on the creeps in bottom lane. The reason you do this is because every time your ultimate bounces to a new target, it increases the damage of the next hit by 10%. This means that the people that get hit by it last will be taking the maximum damage, rather than if you targeted on them straight away and it deals only a small amount of damage. This ramps up pretty quickly and does a good amount of damage, so keep it in mind ready for when a team fight starts. If you see a team fight breaking out and you know that it's going to be worth using, then see the creeps in the opposite side of the map, cast it there, let it bounce across the map until it hits those enemies that you're actually aiming for, and you'll do as much damage as you possibly can. It's also worth mentioning in this tip as well, as a bit of a bonus thing, that you could use your ultimate on an actual target To start with, if you want to stop someone from blinking away as your allies are about to approach them, if you want to use it to break a Lincoln Sphere, but keep in mind this will then mean your ultimate no longer bounces anywhere else across the map, it will just be completely removed, but you will break the Lincolns. Or of course, if you have Aghanim Scepter, you can use it to immediately root someone by starting on them as well. But of course, at this point, you're trading an instant root on that target for less damage at the end of it. The final one for this video is going to be the use of your shard. Now, many people won't pick this up in games, and sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty bad at remembering to grab this until later as well. But this can be especially useful if you are also trying to split push lanes. Now, the reason this can be so useful is if you're in fear of being ganked by anybody who may just hide in the trees ready to jump on you as soon as you appear, the range and the distance on the actual shard use, the ability from this, is pretty damn big. If you get into lane, you just teleport in, and then you cast this ability, you will reveal anybody that is hiding in the trees nearby. If you cast this and you see someone's hidden in the trees ready to jump on you, it gives you enough time to react and get out of view and maybe teleport away with a TP scroll or something like this to make sure you don't die. So if you're at risk of being ganked quite a lot and they've quite often been ready to jump on you as soon as you appear, consider getting a shard just for this as well. It deals damage to enemy heroes whenever they're around trees as well, but it reveals anybody in fog even if you can't see them in the first place. Makes split pushing and being that rat, and that annoying rat, a hell of a lot better. And there's 5 things that you should know about Nature's Prophet, whether you play him or whether you're against him. Hopefully they help you out. If the video did help you out, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. I will be making more of these for all the different heroes as well, and if there's any other tips that you think I could use for a part 2, drop them in the comments. But do subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, because there will be so much more content coming and it helps out an absolute ton. Other than that, I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.